Okay, so this is a video on how to install a second hard drive, or a third hard drive, or a fourth hard drive if you've already got a couple in there. It can be a little bit daunting to people who haven't done it before, but it's really quite simple. It's a simple process, and I'm just going to talk you through that now. This is for installing it on Windows. Oh well, I'm going to be installing my hard drive on Windows 8.1. It's a very similar process for Windows 8. There might be a few things different for Windows 7, Vista, XP, anything else. But the process more or less is the same. You're more or less doing the same things. You just might have to hunt around a little bit to find the same things. If you do have any problems, drop us a comment. I'll do my best to try and help you out with that. But yeah, let's just get onto it. So if you're installing a hard drive, you've probably done to find this video is you either know what you need to do, but you don't know how to do it, or you've installed a hard drive, fine, it's in there in the computer, fine, but it's not showing up. It's not showing up when you go to devices. So for example, I've got my first hard drive here. As you can see, it's massively full, but my second one's not showing up. That might be the case for you, and you might think you've done something wrong. That's fine. All that means is you haven't partitioned it and you haven't formatted it. This video is how to partition it, and the next video is how to format it. We're just splitting it up so it's nice and simple to follow. So to partition a hard drive in Windows 8, what you're basically doing is just sectioning off a part of it and making that part available to the operating system. Most of the time, the part of the hard drive is the entire usable space, but creating multiple partitions on a hard drive is possible, but we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to install it basically as normal. Like I say, don't worry if this sounds like more than you thought. Partitioning a hard drive in Windows 8 isn't hard at all, and it doesn't really take that long to do either. So if you just follow these steps in Windows 8, you'll be fine. So first, what we need to do is we need to open Windows 8 Disk Management. So what you need to do is you need to go to your control panel. I've got a thing called Classic Shell, so you won't have this, but what you can do is you can just search for control panel in there. But like I say, I've got Classic Shell, so I haven't used this for ages. I think it's in settings. But for me, I just go on here and then go to control panel. In here, you want to go into System Security. And then you want to go to Administrative Tools. Once you're in Administrative Tools, you want to go to Disk Management, or sorry, Computer Management. And then in here, you want to go to Disk Management. And then wait for this to load up. Right, so as you can see, I've got my my disk 1, which is this one here, which is local disk C. You might have it the other way around. You might have disk 1 as allocated and fully working, and disk 0, sorry, is allocated and fully working, and disk 1 as unallocated, because it's like programming. It starts at base 0. So the first hard drive is disk 0, the second hard drive is disk 1, that kind of thing. But as you can see, I've got one hard drive in here, that's this one, and a second hard drive in here. They're just not ready to use. But seeing this, I can see that I have installed it right, and the computer is picking it up. I just haven't partitioned it or formatted it. So that means it's working. If you don't see this, if you only see one hard drive and you've installed a second hard drive, you've done something wrong with installing it. You haven't plugged it in correctly. It's a little bit loose. Just unplug it all, replug it back in, and it should show up. So when this shows up, it hasn't happened to me because I was going to partition this before I decided to make a video. So what hasn't happened is a window hasn't come up saying initialize disk. It will say you must initialize a disk before Logical Disk Manager can access it. I haven't seen that because that's already come up for me, because like I say, I was going to partition this and then I thought to make a video of doing it. So a window will come up. What you need to do, you're asked to choose a partition style for the new hard drive. If the hard drive you're installing is larger than 2 terabytes, or 2 terabytes or larger, you want to choose GPT. If it's smaller than 2 terabytes, like mine is, it's only 931 gigs, you want to choose MBR. Okay, so after you've done that, you want to locate the hard drive you want to partition from the drive map at the bottom of the disk management screen. That's this part here. Like I say, if you don't see the drive you want to partition, you may have installed it wrong. Shut down Windows 8 and double check that it's all plugged in and all that kind of stuff. Once you've found the space you want to partition, you want to right click on it, right click on this unallocated space here, and click New Simple Volume. you'll get this one come up, and you want to click next. And then you want to click next again just to confirm that is the maximum disk size. Yep, that's fine. You want those two numbers to be the same. If they're not, just make them the same. You can change them, but I just normally keep them the same just for simplicity. Now you're going to assign the following drive letter. So I've already got local disk C, so this is just going to be called disk D. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm just going to call it disk D because it just follows disk C even, not disk C. Just for simplicity purposes, D comes after C. There's no really logic to that. Now what you want to do for this is you want to click do not format this volume, because this is just partitioning it. If you know what you're doing, feel free to format the drive as part of the process. However, since this tutorial only focuses on partitioning a hard drive, we're going to do formatting in another tutorial, which is linked at the end of this video. So you click next on that, verify everything's fine. So we've got a simple volume, which is right, disk 0, that's alright, disk 0 is unallocated, volume size, yep, I can't be able to read that whole number. Drive or letter or path, disk D, yep, that's fine. Local disk C, then local disk D. File system none, that's what we chose. Allocation unit size default, perfect. Click finish. Now that's going to partition it. Because your computer and hard drive are unlikely exactly like mine, expect the disk selected, volume size and drive letter or path values to be a little bit different than what you've just seen. File system none just means that you've decided not to also format the drive right now, which is fine. That's perfectly okay. So now I've got this local disk C showing up here. We haven't formatted it though. That's what we're going to do in the next video. So now you've got your hard drive showing up. Where are we at? Yep. If you're familiar with the concepts involved with formatting a drive, feel free to format it now. If not, continue over to the second part of this video where I'll show you how to format this. Thank you for watching, and I hope it helped. If you've got any questions, leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.